Hello, everyone. I am Chava Periban, your host of Heritage Mezcal, and I am here today with.
Julie. Hi, guys.
And what is your last name? Sorry, I remember your last name was a little bit convoluted. So
Yeah,
can you?
it is. I have to, and it's like Julie Mann Wharton is kind of
what is it? The origin of such a last name?
English.
English.
England.
Van
Yeah.
Wharton. Wow. Okay.
But I'm from Brazil.
Okay. So maybe we should start from there, right?
Okay.
Because I always think that one of my favorite things about agave spirits is that it makes the world rather small. Right? A lot of us that work in this area, we come from all different paths of life.
Yeah.
And somehow agave put us together.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how is it that you ended up connected to agave spirits and Mexico?
In Mexico, yeah. I came here 12 years ago, so I'm kind of chilanga now. I don't have an accent anymore.
I can give you the blessing. I've heard your Spanish and it's immaculate. Sometimes you do some silly mistakes, but they're perfect.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I came to study anthropology. I'm an anthropologist from ENA, and when I came to Mexico, I started to understand the culture, the people, the feeling, all the stuff that is around Mexico. That's amazing. It's incredible and so real. I always say that. And I started in this industry 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And bartender, and then I went to jefe de barra, and then director, and now I'm here in
Now
JW
you are
Marriott.
the boss.
Oh yeah.
I think like a lot of people that I speak to or that I have conversations with that come to Mexico, they usually come from northern countries, right? Like the US, England, whatever's. And when they tell me that Mexico, it's an exaggerated form of the places they come from, I understand it, right?
Okay.
Because like, England or France, they're like very, just like chill places. And Mexico is a complete different labyrinth.
Yeah.
But I had the opportunity to be in Brazil, and Sao Paulo for me and Rio, they were like Mexico City on steroids. So how would you describe the differences? Because for me, at least, they were very similar. And to be very honest, I loved a lot of the things that I found in Brazil. So how do you see those differences?
I think that the most different that I can see is the party in Brazil is outside, is in the street. You can drink in the street, the carnival. So it's like it's outside. Mexico is inside. It's friends' places, bars, clubs. I don't know. I think that's the difference because here we cannot drink in the street, and that I think that's the most different parts. It's like the type of party, because it's outside, you can see it's hot and it's people is dancing, and here it's like inside.
But it's interesting because I think in a lot of the rural areas of Mexico, it's more outside as well.
Oh yeah.
Even on a weekday, banquetear. Right? Like you just get a 40-ouncer, a caguama, just sit on the edge of a road and you just sip it outside.
Yeah, I did
that. Which is honestly one of my favorite ways of drinking. But you're very right. I was so impressed in Brazil. I remember, and maybe my memory is playing tricks on me, but I remember that there were these places where you will go and have breakfast and you have coffee and juices. And then at the middle of the day, they were starting to sell beers. So you sat there at 9 a.m., and then now it's 11 p.m. and you're dancing, you're drinking, and it all happened in the same place.
Yeah, they call padaria is the name. Is a place that you go to have breakfast. It's like panadería, like pan. Ay, ¿estoy hablando en español?
Yeah, no it's good.
Sorry. Switch. So you go to have breakfast, and then after 12 you'll have a beer. It's very cold beer, and it's in the neighborhood. So you have your neighbors that came in the same place, so they sit, and some guys play the guitar or sing, and then you have a roda de samba that they call. And
what is a roda de samba? Sorry.
It's when you have artists that play the samba, and they sit in circle?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then you have the rueda circle of samba, and you have the people that's playing in the circle, and outside is the people dancing and having party. So
I mean, I think that a lot of people think that Mexicans dance a lot, but I don't think that's true.
No,
Right?
we dance more.
You guys, you're sitting down and your bodies are moving. You're like, these bodies were made to dance.
Yeah.
And anyways, like I just think that I had such a great experience. And the other thing that I want to talk to you about, it's cachaça.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of similarities between mezcal, specifically mezcal,
Yeah.
and cachaça. So can you explain to us a little bit what is cachaça?
Sure. Cachaça is it came from the caña. It's a very
Sugarcane.
Sugarcane, thank you. It's a very strong. Like in Brazil, we have a lot of types. It's like here in Mexico that we have a lot of type of mezcals in Brazil too. But it's not going out. It's just staying in Brazil because it's very from Brazil, and we drink the same way here: beer and mezcal, beer and cachaça. So
Sip and sip,
sip
and
and
sips.
sip, and it's the best way to have fun because you have two stuff, and you have the beer that's like helping with the hot because Brazil is too hot, and here too, and the heavy drink of the cachaça, the mezcal, that's going to like.
And it is so fascinating to me because, as you say, you have many different types of cachaças
Yeah.
depending on the type of caña.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
guys know the different species and varietals of different sugar canes,
Yeah.
and you're making different products out of that.
Yeah.
And my understanding as well is that it's preferred to be drank clear, joven.
Depends. In the south, in the Minas Gerais, that we call it, like cachaça is like very big. Is we can do with honey, with sugar. We like the cachaça has to be like sweet. So you can have they can do with fruits too. Brazil have a lot of fruits too.
Oh,
So
like mistela. In the south of Mexico, we have something similar where we put sugarcane spirits and we throw in there different fruits.
Yeah.
And it creates like this over the top beautiful spirit.
exactly.
Okay,
It's
okay,
amazing.
okay. That's amazing. Okay, so I think that I wanted to explore that because that makes it very clear that you were going to understand mezcal if you had grown up with the culture of cachaça, right?
Yeah.
But then on top of that, you came to Mexico to study anthropology.
Yeah.
Which is I think that there's few majors or few areas of study that will allow you to look at a culture with more precision or
Yeah.
with more detail. So can you tell us a little bit of what exactly were your interests within anthropology?
Oof,
Okay, well,
that's
yeah, do we have a lot of time?
question.
Or maybe one?
I think that what the university did to me, particularmente, is help me to understand. It's a hobby, you know. Like I can understand why Mexicans think the way that they think, like what happened
Don't tell
here.
us.
Yeah.
Don't tell us.
Like what happened before, like why like Mexico is that way. I think that's the main stuff that was important to understand. And when it's in the university was when I learned the Spanish, when I learned like everything about Mexico, you know, for in the university. So I think that bring this like today for me, like in a professional way, that I'm not working on anthropology anymore, but I have this baggage that I know.
I mean, that's fascinating because, as you say, like, and I think this is true for every country. We are a collection of the wars, of the politics,
Yeah.
of the disasters, of the parties, like the good and the bad that has formed every country. So to have the privilege to study this, I really think puts you in the position of, you know, like appreciating the good and the bad in quite great ways.
Yeah. I'm not an expert in mezcal yet. I'm learning a lot. I think that Tahona is like open a door to me, like to.
Okay. So wait, maybe yeah, because I always do this where I start talking about things that we haven't explained yet. So can you? I mean, as anybody can see that is looking at the video, you'll see that we are not in my house. We are not at Roy's studio, where usually we record. We are a place that looks way nicer than any of those places. So can you please tell us where we are right now?
Sure. We are in Tahona Mezcal Room. Here in JW Marriott Polanco is the place that we create to bring Mexico inside to show to foreigners what's mezcal, what's tequila, what's bacanora, what's posh. Talk about a little of the process, how the mezcal is made, and talk about the brands too. And like the different type of agaves, espadín, cupreata. And we have two type of experience. The agave experience is 2 or 3 mezcals with some fruit, chocolate, milk, cheese. Sorry,
Milk.
Because we
A
have
shot of milk. I would love that.
And then we have the omakase too. That's going to be about Mexican movies. We're going to start this week. So.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's 5 dishes and 5 cocktails.
So I was fortunate enough to come and have one of the amakases that you guys do. And I have to say that I was incredibly impressed because many times in my life, I've gone to experiences where they pair food with drinks. I mean, that's a very common thing to do in the industry. But when it comes to mezcal or Mexican spirits, I've realized that a lot of these experiences are not that well calibrated.
Okay.
I think that a lot of what I found is that the food and the spirits were not necessarily talking to each other. And in what you guys did, it was incredible to see a very clear conversation between the drinks and the food and how it was a bigger, more powerful experience every time you put those together.
Yeah.
So I have like these memories of, I think the first cocktail we had, which was inspired in San Jose del Pacifico. It was so fresh, so balanced. I was eating the whole like mushroom that was in there and it was absolutely delightful. And then like the Naked and Famous was just like strong and aggressive in a great way. It's just, and then, I mean, it was a birria taco.
Barbacoa.
A barbacoa taco.
Yeah, this is the favorite one.
Can you explain that to people? Because I still dream about it and I can't quite grasp what was it.
Yeah, the omakase is experience that we create with Estación 29, that's the bar that here in JW, and Sendero, that's the restaurant from the hotel. And it's like a team work. Everyone in the bar is working in the cocktails. Everyone in the kitchen is working in the dishes. We have to talk a lot because we have to get a perfect understand what we want to show people, what we want to talk about it, what the flavors that we want to explore in the dishes and in the cocktail and in the mezcal, of course, because depends of the brand and the style of the mezcal, depend of the cocktail and depend of the dish. So it's kind of it's a work. It's funny. I love to create, and the guys in the bar love to create too. I'm always trying to take everything together, everyone together, and do like a teamwork. And the barbacoa, the taco de barbacoa, is a red meat that's cooked in the ground for like I think that's 48 hours.
In the grounds of Polanco. So you guys went into across the street.
The barbacoa.
Yeah.
Not here.
No, I'm messing around. Sorry.
No, it's okay. And it's cooking black beer for 48 hours. So it's amazing. It's the favorite dish.
Just the ratio of grease to meat and how everything comes together was Roy's looking at me. He hasn't had breakfast.
I'm like that, me too.
Like he's suffering
it's
right
amazing.
now.
But we're not going to have the taco de barbacoa anymore because we are changing the menu, the omakase. So
it happened. I had it.
The surprise is going to be a very good surprise. You guys are going to see.
Cool. And I think that, I mean, honestly, you guys have impressed me in many ways. I think the first one was the actual calibration of dishes and drinks. The other thing that I am very interested is, as you're saying, like the GW Marriott has a specific type of clientele, and a lot of it is business oriented. Yeah, like both Roy and I walked in here, we're not wearing a suit. Everybody's looking at us with weird eyes. But it's a lot of people that come to Mexico for business, and free time is not one of the things that they really have available.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to me that you guys opened a place, a little, like just bubble, where they can come and explore a lot of very specific things about Mexico. Because I was, again, like when I was looking at the bottles you have, I thought you were going to have a lot of the non-challenging stuff. Because for some reason people say, oh, people should start with simple spirits and then go to more complex, which I think is super silly. Because I think you have to, I mean, nothing that you have here, it's like over the top simple. I mean, it could be simple in context.
I get it.
But even your most simple espadín here, it's actually quite a bomb. And I love that because if somebody comes and they're a Scotch enthusiast, a wine enthusiast, they're going to try a really good version of mezcal and they cannot dismiss it.
No, all the brands that we have here, we went to the palenques with the producers, talked to them. The brands that we have are like very small. You can see in some of them, like it's, they make like, I don't know, 100 bottles. And we have the number 2, you know? So it's very special. And I'm still trying to learn about because we have like 25 brands.
Which is a great selection.
Yeah, but we have like the one brand we have Espadín, Cuprata, Tobalá, so it's like it's more.
You have Raicilla, you have Posh, for God's sake, that even though it's not an agave spirit, it's delightful. I mean, I'm just looking around. You have Quiche, which was a great part of my childhood.
Yeah.
You have Lágrimas de Dolores, which I believe it's a great product out of Durango. You have Rayo Seco, which the Sacator of Rayo Seco is the only thing that my mother drinks.
Really?
And,
I love Rayo Seco. The Cuprata from Rayo Seco is my favorite one
Super
now
balanced.
because I'm always changing.
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. It's such a vast selection that we can always change our tastes, right?
Yeah.
So actually we're drinking something that I want to talk to you about. We've been sipping a little bit of it because it's before noon and the best mezcal is always before noon. So
I agree with you.
let me get you a little bit of this.
Please.
Chan, chan, chan. It's one of my new obsessions, this spirit. Saludcita. And this is a Salmiana from San Luis Potosí or close to Guanajuato. You know, sometimes like I get very confused with San Luis Potosí, Guanajuato borders because I think of El Bajío as an entity. And yeah, so I prefer to say from El Bajío.
El Bajío. Okay.
And this was distilled in clay pots in the Campanilla style, which I'll show you some pictures about that. You're going to lose it. It's like really, really bizarre. But I think it's one of the most delicious things that I've tried in a long time. And it's made by Atzin or the kids at Casa Agave. So
no, it's amazing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oof, yeah. Feeling way better now.
No, it's the only mezcal that we have here from San Luis Potosí. So it's
Really?
special. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that excites me a lot. You know, like when I came back from Oaxaca to Mexico City, I really thought that there was going to be 50, 60 places that were exploring agave spirits in its whole, you know, like vastness.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, I saw that a lot of the places were, and rightfully so in a way, they were obsessed with Oaxaca.
Yeah.
And they were not quite expanding beyond that. And I understand that Oaxaca is infinite, but Mexico has...
It's huge. Yeah, we have mezcal here from Durango, Michoacán, Guerrero. We have from all the places. That's the idea, to bring, like, it's not just bring Mexico City or Oaxaca, it's bring Mexico in general here in Tahona.
That's so amazing. And the other thing that I'm really interested about is that I think that not everybody's an alcoholic like me, and I don't want to point any fingers, but you know, like if somebody tells me go sit down and drink 13 different things, that's my perfect day. But I think that a lot of people need other ways of accessing spirits that it's not only like obsessing over the spirit. And when I understand you mentioned the movies theme, and I think that is such a smart way of creating a parallel narrative to the spirit in which you can collide different interests. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think that we don't want just to bring dishes and cocktails for the people. The idea is like to bring history too. So the movies, we have Cantinflas, we have Macario, we have a lot of movies that is like the old, but still new. Like it's the classic. Yeah. So it's like bring the story about Mexico here in Tahona. And I think that we are going to have a projector with some parts of the movie. Frida, of course, is in the top 10. And I think that's this, you know, you have to have a fundament, like to understand what you want to show. I think that's what I'm always trying to to bring to people. Like it's not just an idea and I'm talking about. It's something it's very you have to be there, you have to feel it, you have to everything. I don't know if I get.
And I love that, like, because it gives substance, it gives context.
Yeah.
Again, like I think sometimes we forget that not everybody's an agave nerd, and a lot of them need some background that is not only the genetics or the biology or the technicalities, because they might not care, rightfully so, about that. So if you give a time in history or a movie where you see, like, you can actually see how a cantina was in the 1800s, or well, how it's been depicted to be in the 1800s or the 1900s, you can imagine who these people were, how they were drinking that, how they were fighting, how they were trying to fall in love. And I think then it really makes the agave spirit have a personality that otherwise would be lost, no?
Yeah, and they have, like, sometimes I'm going to tell a secret. Sometimes I'm here.
All the secrets, Julie, please.
Like I'm here, I go inside town, I close the door, and I'm by myself, and I'm like, almost talk to the brands, like I touch, like, it's something that I have. I'm getting exciting and getting feelings about mezcal. I'm falling in love.
I mean, I think honestly, I wish more people were to tell me that. Like, because I mean, again, we're sharing secrets. I think I do the same in my house. Okay. It's packed with bottles, and sometimes I just like go and like, okay, cenizo.
And they have a story too, like how the producers make the mezcal is about family. It's about they have a family that's the mother is the one that's like helping with the agave. And they're all together growing the mezcal, and it's a story for them too. And the story that the mezcal passed to get to our hands. And after that, what the mezcal is. Represent to us what happened with this bottle, when I took with my family or with a friend. It's like, I think that everything's like made together.
Well, I mean, I love that. It's almost like if you were to read a novel, if you were to read a book, and then you will write a book on what that book made you feel and it made you do. And it's sort of like this connection, right? Because I think that's another beautiful thing about spirits, that a lot of times they create the moments that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And I think like that's something that I've repeated a lot. It's in a lot of these towns, they cannot fathom the idea of having a wedding where they're only going to be serving Bacardi or an industrial brand. It's the most important day of their lives. Yeah. So they need something that it's equally significant, right?
Yeah, and mezcal, we are talking that mezcal was here like long time ago, it was about rituales, what about spirits. It's not just, it's not right now the la carga, the charge that mezcal have is so big to Mexico. So yeah,
I think that is very true, and I think we're just starting to understand that. Yeah. I think people talk about the mezcal boom, but it hasn't been more than 20 years that it has been part of our collective imaginations in the cities. Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah, it's like, wow, we have mezcal. We never knew.
It suddenly got here. So yeah, I think there's a lot to unravel out of there. So I guess just to close and in order for people to know, so we are here in Tahona Mezcal Room. They can find you on the social media, on the internet as Tahona Mezcal Room. Yeah. You are in the GW Marriott in Polanco.
That's right.
I don't think a lot of the mezcal nerds come to Polanco in a regular basis, but a lot of them travel for work. Yeah. So I think that if you guys are traveling for work and you want to have a really beautiful agave spirits collection, if you have friends that are traveling for work and you want them to experience this amazing world, or so I think of it, you can signal them to come here. And the other thing that I wanted to know, it's for these experiences, how can people do appointments, or how can they get to it?
They can touch us with in Tahona Mezcal Room Instagram, or in the JW Instagram, or come here. I'm always here, so
she's always here talking to the bottles.
I'm the manager of the beverages here in the hotel. So yeah, in the en la recepción.
Yeah, reception. Front desk. In the front desk.
Thank you. I'm learning about hotel names. In the front desk, and with all the staff is capacitado to answer all the questions about Tahona. The schedule is 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. to make the reservation. Can be 10 people, can be 2, 1. Doesn't mind. It's
Half a
always
person.
yeah, no, it's always a change of energy. So I think that's
Cool.
yeah, I'm very glad to have you guys here.
Love it. Well, it's been a pleasure having a conversation with you, señorita.
Thank you, Chava.
And I'll see you guys pretty soon. Thanks for
See you
listening.
soon.
Adiosito. Bye. This was Heritage Mezcal, the incredibly eclectic podcast that likes to delve into the depths of the country we call Mexico. I'm Chava Privan, your host, and I truly hope you enjoyed this episode. All the sounds, all the music, and now all the videos living in YouTube are made by Roy Sierra. Tómese el mezcalito con gusto y medida y nos miramos al rato.